I'm Lucy Begg, and I'm a co-director of Thoughtbarn, which is an architecture firm in East Austin. If I try to think about threads throughout my career, one that I come back to a lot is being inspired by writers and artists that are kind of repurposing or representing the everyday world around us and revealing how extraordinary it really is. So in my early career, I was really inspired by the work of Samuel Mockbee in the Rural Studio and the way they were taking salvaged materials and making extraordinary but modest structures in rural Alabama. From there, I discovered the work of William Christenberry, who was one of the first colour photographers and took photos of sort of mundane structures around the rural South and took them again and again over the years and kind of revealed their beauty through that. I've been really inspired by the work of Giuseppe Pannoni and Brian Nash Gill that work with tree trunks and taking prints and carving trees in ways that cause you to look at them sort of deeper and longer. Also in terms of writing, say the writings of J.B. Jackson or Wendell Berry that are writing a lot about place and the everyday world around us, or writers who talk about walking and how you see the world, so Robert McFarlane and Rebecca Solnit. Those are all people that when I think about it have a kind of common thread that kind of comes back to an interest just in what is extraordinary in the world around us. I think that we're really blessed with organizations that are kind of committed and rooted in Austin and transforming the city over the long term in ways that bring people together and enhance our community life. So some of the ones whose work I really admire are the Community First Village, the Mobile Loaves and Fishes. We've had the good fortune to do work with the Waterloo Greenway project. We were involved in the first Creek Show in 2014, putting a piece of small budget public art along the creek as a way to encourage people to come and explore it, and the way they have bridged, working with local artists all the way up to really high profile international design firms to create this space in the middle of the city that is continually transforming where we are, and also combining the design of space with really amazing programming to make spaces that bring people together. I do feel like we're slightly making up the template. We don't have an easy template to inherit because, and I say we a lot because, the business and my career is completely intertwined with my partner, but we are from different countries and then working in a place that our roots aren't, and so there's not a easy sort of template of how to manage that. But I do pay a lot of attention to historically husband and wife firms are really interesting to me, so I like to read about Charles and Ray Eames or Alison and Peter Smithson or Sarah Wigglesworth and Jeremy Till in England. It's always interesting to look at, and there's a lot of husband-wife firms now and historically, so those are always interesting to me to look at. I'm not really a fan of general advice because, again, I think everyone's lives are so different, but there's this set of rules that I think his first professor in grad school, Richard Swallow, handed these out to his students. This 8.5 by 11 piece of paper has followed us throughout our 15 years of working, and we always have it pinned up, and I've always thought it's the best general advice. And this is by Sister Carina. She was a nun who taught graphic design. She was kind of an activist. Some of the rules that she gave her students, which we really love, are rule number 1, find a place you trust and then try trusting it for a while. Rule number 7, the only rule is work. If you work, it will lead to something. It's the people who do all of the work all the time who eventually catch on to things. You can fool the fans, but not the players. Rule number 4, consider everything as an experiment. If anybody is, I think the template that we have is just the one of having built our own small little venture that basically the reason we did it was to give ourselves some autonomy and freedom over what we were working on and the ability to develop our own ideas and to have some freedom over how we managed our lives too. And I think it was sort of organic the way we grew our business, and then once we had kids, I think that I wouldn't want to do it any other way because I really appreciate being able to have the autonomy to manage our lives in the way that makes it manageable, but recognizing that I think I'm interested with our business, and it's always a work in progress, in being able to create a workplace in which other people have the ability to do that.